Hey guys, how's it going? Matthew here in Shanxi. Actually, I'm in a city called Xi'an. You might have heard of it. It's a city noted for its terracotta warriors. And we'll check those out later. I'm on a trip with a bunch of other YouTubers. We're exploring the area. We're just cruising around looking at different scenic spots and learning a little bit about the city. Today we're learning a little bit, honestly guys, it's a bit of a boring topic. We're going from exhibition to exhibition, display to display, and we're learning about the ins and outs of what the future of the city might be, the future technologies, the future green technologies. And honestly guys, it's just looking at a lot of billboards. But you know what, it got me thinking. There's a lot that goes on within a city that you might think of as boring. You might think it's not interesting, but it's necessary. I mean, if you think about waste collection, if you think about the civic engineering, street light layouts, how the roads are made, and how water is collected, all of these things are as important as anything. And what we're learning here, because this is the largest park, it's called Central Park, and it is a bit of a model for the type of water collection that they intend to replicate all around China. They call this area a sponge city. The reason it resonates with me is because we have a similar situation in Las Vegas. I used to live in Las Vegas for many years, and Las Vegas is what you would probably regard it as a sponge city. They have to engineer their areas, their streets, their even their commercial properties. Everywhere there's land, you have to make sure that you maximize the amount of water that you can collect and distribute underground. Otherwise, the little rain that might fall in Vegas will end up getting washed away in the water table, and you'll end up losing it. So what you want to do is you want to collect that water and have it be useful throughout the year. So this area is what's called a sponge city, and they have a bunch of different things that they have done here that are different from other cities, or that they're hoping to implement in other cities. The first thing is this marshland, which marshland is a great, if they're engineered properly and designed properly, they're a great way to collect water. So instead of having a situation where you might need levees and a lot of rivers and you're guiding water through a city and the water is basically exiting the city all the time, you can collect the water in areas like this, large marshes and large reservoirs. And so marshland is a key component to creating a sponge style city like we are right now. Another thing that they've done is they have used recycled stone. So they take from construction sites and stuff, debris and whatnot, and they crunch it down. They create it into a consistency that they can pack into bricks. They do a little magic to it, compress it, and lay it into the sidewalks. And as opposed to having like a sidewalk that might allow water to just wash off into the gutter, you have a sidewalk that instead holds water. And I saw the example of this at a little center they have over here that's sort of like an exposition center that's talking about all the different things that they have. And they laid out a bunch of these tiles that not only have gaps in between them to allow the water to filter down into the bedrock that is underneath the bricks, but the bricks themselves are sort of sponge-like. So if you pour water onto the bricks absorb the water and hold the water. It seems like such a simple thing, but actually these little things are very important to have functional in a city to manage in a situation where there's not a lot of water. When I was flying into the city, one of the things I noticed was this area is extremely arid. So the amount of water that falls in certain seasons is very light. So when you have water fall, you want to make sure to maximize the staying power of that water. You want to keep it, and you want to filter it, and you want to use it in ways that's going to benefit the land and the nature that you have in the city. And so one of those things is is designing the bricks and stuff to help sponge that water, make sure it doesn't fall away simply into the sewer system and end up getting swept away. And all of these things work together. So you have the marshland that works together with the paving stones that are in the sidewalks, that works together with the roadways and the ways that they direct water. As a matter of fact, if you look at my drone view right now, you can see that the roads alongside of most of the roads in this area, there are like small there's like small trench style marshes basically that are designed to collect the water that falls off the roadway, and they sort of use it to some purpose rather than just directing it into the gutter, then it goes into the sewer, and then it goes out of the city. So small things like that can go a long way to manage your water system and your sewage system. You know, it's funny, my dad was a plumber when he was alive, and my grandpa was a plumber. And I grew up understanding the value of a healthy sewer, of a healthy water system. It sounds gross, and to be honest, I ended the line of plumbers in my family. I told my dad I'd rather not be sticking my hand down a toilet. But it taught me the value of certain things that we might overlook. You know, the trades are such an important thing. And sometimes the glamour, or the lack thereof, of certain trades kind of get lost instead of the reality show lifestyle a lot of us live in, you know. But things like water preservation, things like filtration and understanding your water table, things like, you know, civic engineering and making sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed with regards to a metropolis or a city, are just as important, if not more important, than some of the fancy schmancy things that make your city shine and look all, you know, modern and interesting. Some of the dirtier things are the most important. And so walking through this area today, although it was boring, I guess, it was also interesting. I think we need to expose ourselves to some of these kind of realities so that we understand that we live in a society that's full of layers, and there's all sorts of, oh, it's okay. Okay. Ladies riding her e-bike. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Anyways, you know, we walk down the street, we go to the bar, we turn on our sink, we flush a toilet, we take a shower. We do all these things every day, unwittingly releasing water into a system that was not designed necessarily to handle it the way that we handle it. And here in Shanxi, and a lot of places in China, you might not realize this, and I'm not saying this is only a China thing. I think all civilized societies out there are looking for ways that they can be more environmentally friendly, that they can manage your water table, that they can create systems that work hand in hand with nature and the lifestyle of the people living in it, you know. So the last day I've been spending learning about what Shanxi is doing with regards, and I'm hoping I pronounce it right. Shanxi? There's a few different ways you can pronounce it. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but the day has been spent what some people might say is very boring. I would even probably suggest that too. But I think it's equally important, and if you look at it from the right perspective, it's actually quite interesting. Anyways, we are going to cruise on, and we've got a lot of things planned, but I was trying to actually listen to some of these talks and look at some of these expositions that we've been going to and say, how the hell am I going to make a video about this without sounding like a talking head that's, welcome to Shanxi. Today we're going to look around and learn how water management is done within the city. I'm thinking maybe that was my only option, but when I started learning a little bit more about it, I found it was interesting, very interesting. So anyways, you guys take it easy. If you want to join my Patreon, I make audio podcasts where you can hear some more current event things. I don't know when you're watching this, but this was probably recorded about a month ago. And so join my Patreon, and yeah, watch out for the next episode. It's going to be fun. We've got YouTubers Lee and Ollie Barrett from the Barrett channel. We've got Guelo60 and Mexicanos in China, and Eric the photographer. It's going to be a good time. We've got a lot of things to do here in Xi'an and Shanxi. Some more natural stuff. I'm really excited to kind of get into the mountains and see some more of the picturesque beauty of the area. If you look behind me, it looks very arid. That's because it's kind of off season. The wet season is now gone. So this area normally is very lush and green, but right now it's a bit arid. But take it easy, guys. JaYoe. We'll catch you in the next one. 你好 Hello
你好，我们走吧。
走走走。
走。